Well, good morning, everybody. I am going to be using this strange slanted rock. It sits up on a slant, so it's kind of cool to paint a welcome rock, right? It's about 5.5 inches. I'm not confident with my lettering, so I actually used a stencil to put the word welcome on the rock. If you're not comfortable with your writing either, go out and get a stencil or create one if you have a Cricut. Trace one on. It's totally up to you. There's no rules when it comes to rock painting, so you do what you got to do to make your stuff beautiful. I'm not ashamed that I'm using a stencil because I'm not confident with my lettering at all. I will worry and stress so much about my lettering that I will end up not doing the rock. So why stress when it's something you love to do, right? So I penciled on my idea and it's not very easy to see. So I sped through that and now I'm just using white so that you can see kind of what my vision is here. I had a couple of requests. A while back I was doing the flower of the month. And then I stopped because really bad stuff happened in my life. And I've had a hard time getting back on track. It's still very stressful, and I actually just went through a bit of a scare. But I got some biopsy results back, and they were negative. So that's a positive thing for me right now. Took a lot of weight off my shoulders, and I feel stronger and more hopeful. So that's good news. But I want to get back to doing the flowers of the month. I want to make sure that I have everyone covered, every month covered. So if you look back in my videos, you want to see some flowers of the month. I do have up until June. I think I might have already done June because it's a rose, but this time I'm doing a honeysuckle. And it might not look like a honeysuckle. This is me doing honeysuckle. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to look exact. In the end, if it looks like a flower, we're winning, right? So even if it doesn't look like a honeysuckle, you'll see it a little better. There's like a horn shape to a honeysuckle, and usually there's like a long horn and then it opens up at the top. Mine are short horned. Okay. These are not technical terms. This is a short horned pink and yellow honeysuckle flower. That's what it is. So bear with me while I create this imaginary flower and let me know what you think of it at the end. Let me know if this is your birthday month. If it is, happy birthday. I hope you have an amazing day, or had or will be having. I hope it's full of love and laughter. My birthday was back in March, and I've already painted March flowers and January flowers. I believe I have up until now. So we'll continue, we'll keep going, and you can look forward to next month's flowers. I might do, because most months have 2 flowers, I might do both, or I might just pick one. I don't know. It depends on what life is throwing at me. But I'll do the best I can. I'm really aiming to put up more videos this time. I'm working really hard at that. And then, dang, life just kicks you. And sometimes it kicks you while you're down too. So I've been really struggling keeping up with videos for you guys. And I'm really sorry because you're the most supportive group of people. And I see you checking on me. Is everything okay? Are you going to be bringing back another video? I'm still here. I'm just trying to live, trying to keep my head above water sometimes. So, but I promise I'll be back. I would never give up on you guys. I would never give up on this. It's too much fun. So there are different colors of honeysuckle flowers out there if you want to look them up. Mine are going to be a shade of magenta with a little bit of pink and some yellow. And the parts that I'm lightening up with my little blending brush right now which I do have a tutorial for in the description of every one of my videos. And if you can't find it in the description of the videos, please just search it on YouTube. Rachel's Rocks blending brush, Rachel's Rocks fine lining brush, Rachel's Rocks resin, and it'll bring you to all these important places where you can get all your tips and tricks to create some beautiful rocks. So this blending brush is kind of like a sponge. I've just chopped it down and I use it as like a little mini sponge. Make sure you rinse it off between different colors that you're using. Always use a different sponge for different colors, or everything just blends together like mud. And it's very frustrating. You lose the bright color if you mix your green with your pink. You know what I mean? So I am using magenta for these like unopened honeysuckle flowers. They just kind of look like long hot dogs at the moment. Once again, the technical terms, they're just not going to be here because I'm self-taught and I say what I feel like saying and I explain things to the best of my ability. No apologies. So I'm just using my little blending brush. If you have little sponges, those work too. They work great. I love sponges, but I don't have any tiny ones. So this is really where this little blending brush comes in handy for sure. And I'm lightening the bottoms. It's going to be like almost white at the end, at the bottom of the horn that's coming out of the vine or the stem. I will be letting it dry before I add yellow, but there will be lots of yellow involved in this as well. All the paint colors will be listed in the description of this video. I'll try to name them off as I go along. So right now I'm just using magenta, but I'm also using, yikes, let me get it. It is called, honeysuckle. It's a light pink. So that's kind of cool. So I'm putting a little bit of light pink and then a little bit of white at the very bottom of the flower, like the horn part that comes out. You'll see. I'm probably going to speed this up a little bit because it's going to be boring just watching me blend. It's always easier to blend while the paint is wet, and acrylic paint dries super fast, so you got to work fast. I'm not working this fast. I've sped this up, but you do have to work really fast or it doesn't blend properly. So I'm just going in, winging it like usual, just lightening parts that I feel need to be lightened. These don't really look like honeysuckles at the moment, but hopefully very soon. So here I'm adding more white, adding more hot dogs. You do what you want. You can look up pictures and go from that. You can look up tattoos of honeysuckles. You can look at drawings, paintings, see whatever makes it easier for you to envision how you have to paint it. It's totally up to you. So now I'm adding in a little bit of moon yellow. I've waited for this to dry first before I start working with the yellow, because I want that yellow to kind of stand out. It might look really strange right now, but I'm actually going to outline everything in black and define all the little parts of our flowers. So there's a method to the madness. Just do the best you can. In the end, it's going to be a beautiful flower, right? Even if it doesn't resemble what you intended, be proud of it and work with it and make it beautiful. And if you're still not happy, add some glitter, because that's my motto. New t-shirts coming out soon. So yeah, I'm still adding some more white. I'm going to be putting some texture on the leaves as well, and adding a couple of little leaves like at the very bottom of each flower where I can see the bottom of the flower. I'm going to add a couple of leaves right there as well, but they're just going to be super tiny, with no definition. I'm just going to use the thicket green that I've already used. When I add some definition to the leaves on the green leaves, I'm actually going to be using another paint color called citrus green. And I'm going to do like the veins on the leaves. I've just made sure that there was 2 coats or 3 coats on the green before I started, but make sure everything is filled in properly, because when you seal this, you might be able to actually see through your paint. So it's good to always have that white primed background. Like I started off with painting everything white and then filling it in with color. It will stand out way more on your rock. This rock is fairly light, but it is going to darken. It's going to change. You're going to see a big difference in how it looks once I seal it with resin. So you always have to keep that in mind when you're painting something that you want it to stay like super bright on top of that rock. Always start with a couple of coats of white. That's my best tip ever. And with this, I'm just lining everything, and I'm kind of like figuring out where those flowers open and going from there. And they're kind of shaped strange. Like if you look up pictures of them, it's not easy for me to paint this for some reason. I'm doing the best I can. And once again, if it just looks like a nice flower when I'm done, I'm going to be satisfied with this welcome rock. I'm pretty sure someone else would be very satisfied with it as well. So don't be hard on yourself. See, that looks like there's a mouth with a tongue sticking out. I had no intention of that. But hopefully once I add, what is it called? Is it the stigma? Are they stigmi? I don't really want to look up the actual, is it stamen? It might be stamen. Yeah, the stamen are going to be yellow. And hopefully once I put the stamen on the flower, it will look more like a flower instead of a mouth with a tongue or a hot dog. Wish me luck. We'll see how it goes. I have missed you all. I hope you're all doing well. Any and all ideas that you have that you want to see me paint, put them in the comments. Keep me inspired. Struggling because of the stress. I struggle to be creative, and I struggle to be inspired. So you just little, like if something comes up in your head, oh, hey, that would be fun to paint, send me a comment, and I'll write it down, and then I'll feel inspired. So I'm outlining even the leaves, making sure everything is outlined properly, making sure I have nice thick coat of thicket green in my leaves and in the stem. And I did kind of go over top of my letters, but I'm going to bring those letters back out in front by outlining them again. And then I'm going to add like a chrome powder that's pink, like a pink chrome on the word itself. And that's going to stand out even more in front of the flowers. So you'll see. Well, if you saw the thumbnail, you already saw. So I wish there was a way that I could do like a secret thumbnail. There probably is. I just haven't even tried yet. But where you guys don't know what it looks like until the very end, unless you cheat and you skip forward, which I would do. But I always give you like the full blown what we're working with right at the beginning. You always know whether or not you actually want to see me paint it by looking at the thumbnail. Like, ooh, is that a turtle? Or, ooh, is that a frog? And yes, I do have frog and turtle tutorials, believe it or not. I don't know how many tutorials I have. I just know I have over 300. So look around. You might find something you really like to make. And it's always good for DIY gifting. So if you can't think of something to give to somebody, paint them something. Paint them something cool. I've got dragon eyes. I got pendants. I got phone grips. I got like night skies with trees and all sorts of fun stuff. Fireflies. You look up my list, you'll find something you like. And it's not as hard as it looks if you're patient. So I've done the veins in the citrus green, and then I've sponged a little bit of citrus green in between those veins because I'm trying to give it like a leafy texture. And then I'm going to go over that and kind of dull it down with a sponge using thicket, like a light coat of thicket, because I don't want the veins to be like too bold. But just work on it until you're happy with how your leaves look. I always just kind of lighten in between the veins, and then it gives it kind of like a texture to the leaf. Hopefully you can see that. But I'm also going to be adding like a little bit of chrome powder when it's dry, just kind of dusting it on the leaves to give it some sparkle. I'm going to show you two different ways to use the chrome powder on this rock. So a little bit on the leaves and on the petals of the flowers. And then I'm going to use it on the welcome part using a UV gel top coat to make it chrome. So here's is it stamen? Somebody will correct me. I'm doing some little stamens. I always warn people, we are not technical here. Just say what you feel, paint what you love. Everybody will be happy. Let's be stress-free. There, it looks less like a mouth, right? Tell me it looks less like a mouth now. Now the fun part is I'm going to try and kind of outline the little stamen that I just did using black, because I don't want them to like blend into the flower too much. So I'm going to like outline one side of them and just the underneath of the little orange part that I put on the tip of each of these little yellow hairs. Hopefully you can see all of this. It's not really up close, but hopefully that is something you can see. There's the smaller leaves that I'm putting at the base of the flowers. Only where you can see a base. And do what you want. Like, honestly, judge by whether it's a vine or whether you judge what you want to do, how you want to place it on your stone, depending on the size of stone that you have. Luckily, I grabbed this stone because it sits on a slant. So it's perfect for like sitting on like a nice table in your front entry or whatever. Like it sits on a slant like a little sign. So I thought it would be really, really good for a welcome stone for the front of your home or whatever, your entryway. So yeah, but you just do it the way you want to and you place it the way you want to. I'm just here to inspire you and give you some ideas and show you some tips and tricks and chat. And you get to hear my silly little giggle. But yeah, I am just outlining welcome with gold and making sure that it looks the way I want it to and that it's all ready. Once that part is dry, I'm going to be using the sparkly powder as chrome because I'm going to put nail top coat, UV top coat on there like paint. I'm going to use like a fresh paintbrush, never been used. And you'll see that part. But first, I'm going to use the same kind of glitter, only I'm going to use green glitter on the leaves. Just kind of brush it on, a little bit of shimmer. And I put some of the pink on the petals of flowers. Just a little bit. You can use your finger, you can use like a little eyeshadow brush, a little painting brush. It's up to you. It's probably not going to stay in place completely, but it's not going to be a big deal if it travels onto the rock because it's very, very fine glitter. So that's one way of using it. Now my flower and my leaves have a shimmer to them and they look super pretty, and you'll be able to see that maybe a little bit better once I resin it. But now we're going to use that same pink powder that I put on the flowers in the welcome part. But the way you have to do that is you have to cure the UV gel under a UV light. I usually put it under for about 120 seconds. That's because I have a really old UV light, and I'm just being safe, making sure everything is cooked properly. Then I use this same nail shimmer powder that I have here, and I use like a little eye makeup brush, and I just brush it on. I kind of put it in circles and just rub it on there, and it turns to chrome. So if I did the green, it would be green chrome. The stuff that I have, it comes in like a set of 6. So there's like purple, pink, orange, purple, or blue, green. So there's like all these different colors that you can choose from, and it lasts a very long time. You only use a very small amount. A little goes a very long way. So you don't need to buy it often. Even if it costs you $14 for all 6, it's going to last you probably a couple years that you'll be using it, depending on how often you paint. But it's worth the money, and it does some fantastic little things to your stones, to your artwork in general. So I'm doing the entire word in this pink chrome, and it looks fantastic with the color of the honeysuckles. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I'm going to cover it with resin and show you what it looks like. How about that? But I have a little surprise for you as well. Well, I had the chance to make some of this stuff. If you haven't had the chance to try out metallic watercolor or color shifting watercolor paint on your stones, now's the time, because it's absolutely going to change your rock game. Haven't been able to make some for a while, but I finally have been able to, and I do have it all going into my shop today. Just so that if you want to visit my Etsy shop and purchase some, they are going in today. I'm also going to be putting this welcome rock into my shop. So if you are interested, the link is in the description of this video. And here is that beauty that we created together today. Look at that. This is the shape of the rock. This is what I'm talking about, how it kind of like sits up on a slant, and it's a perfect rock for like a little sign. So I really, really like that rock, and I envisioned what I wanted on it right away as soon as I saw it. Look at how much this rock changed in color, but it still looks super nice with the honeysuckle and the color that I chose for the welcome sign. I really like it. I think it would look beautiful in someone's entryway for sure. But I want your opinion, so make sure you let me know in the comments, and also hit the like button. You came for a visit with me. We had a chat. We learned something, maybe. And now we wait till next time. We wait for our next visit. I'm going to turn the light on here so that you can see all that shimmer and shine that we added. I think it looks really pretty. I think I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, even if the horns on my flowers are short. That's okay. It was fun, and it's made a nice little sign. So I will see you guys soon. Do me a favor, keep painting. I love you. Bye.